Have you ever found yourself wondering if a married woman might secretly want more from you than just casual conversation? It can start innocently enough, a friendly chat, a little laughter, a compliment here and there. But sometimes those small interactions carry deeper intentions that most men completely overlook. Now, before we dive into the 7 unmistakable signs, let me make one thing crystal clear. This video isn't here to encourage you to pursue a married woman. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Our goal is to make you aware, to sharpen your awareness so you don't get caught in a situation that can damage not only your life, but hers and her family's. See, attraction doesn't always knock on the door politely. Sometimes it sneaks in quietly, hidden behind smiles, jokes, and subtle actions. And when a married woman is interested in a man, she often expresses it in ways that are subtle yet powerful. If you don't recognize the signs, you could easily mistake them for harmless friendliness. But the truth is, those signals can lead you down a dangerous path. Because here's the reality. Once a line is crossed, it's nearly impossible to step back without consequences. Affairs leave scars on marriages, on trust, and on the people caught in between. That's why understanding these signals is so important. Not so you can exploit them, but so you can protect yourself and avoid being manipulated into something you never intended. In this breakdown, we're going to expose the 7 clear signs that a married woman may want more from you. Each one is backed by psychology, real-world patterns, and human behavior. And while these signs may feel flattering, I'm here to remind you. When someone has already made vows, you're walking into dangerous territory. So pay close attention, because once you can spot these signals, you'll never mistake a married woman's hidden intentions for simple kindness again. Sign number 1. She always replies to you quickly. One of the very first, and most telling signs that a married woman may be developing an interest in you is the speed and eagerness with which she replies to your messages. Think about it. In today's world, we're all busy. Married women especially have countless responsibilities, from taking care of the household, to managing her career, to spending time with her husband and family. So when she suddenly starts giving you priority attention, it's a clue worth noticing. If she responds to your texts almost instantly, even when you know she's with her husband or family, that's not just friendliness. That's urgency. She's making an effort to connect with you in real time. And in many cases, she'll even hide her communication from her spouse. Maybe she pretends she's going to the bathroom, or she keeps her phone tilted away so no one else sees. These little behaviors reveal more than words ever could. Psychology tells us that when someone is emotionally invested, they struggle to delay gratification. The thought of you sitting there waiting for a reply pushes her to break normal routines just to respond. That's not casual friendship. That's attraction trying to squeeze its way out, no matter the cost. But here's the important part. Don't confuse this attention for genuine care. Often, when a married woman is messaging another man this quickly, it's not because she's deeply interested in building something real. It's because she's seeking validation, excitement, and escape. And while it might feel flattering, remember this. If she's willing to sneak around and prioritize you over her husband, she's also showing you exactly what she's capable of doing in a committed relationship. So while the rapid replies may stroke your ego, take them as a warning sign, not an invitation. The truth is, if she can't even wait until she's alone to talk to you, it's not romance brewing, it's trouble knocking. Sign number 2. She makes time for you. Time is one of the most valuable resources any of us have. And for a married woman, it's even more precious. Between her responsibilities at home, her marriage, work, and social obligations, her schedule is usually tight. So if she starts going out of her way to make time just for you, that's not a coincidence. That's intention. Notice how she adjusts her day just to cross paths with you. Maybe she rearranges her errands so she can bump into you at the grocery store. Maybe she suddenly has extra time to grab coffee when she knows you'll be around. Or perhaps she invents reasons to meet up, under the disguise of friendship, but deep down her goal is to carve out a private space for the two of you. This isn't casual. This is investment. Psychology shows us that when someone prioritizes you despite their other commitments, it reveals where their emotional energy is flowing. A faithful, content woman won't jeopardize her schedule, her family's trust, or her own peace of mind for another man. But a woman who's secretly interested, she'll bend her calendar, take risks, and even lie just to have more moments with you. Now here's the catch. It often feels flattering when someone goes out of their way for us. You might think, wow, she must really value me. But remember, if she's sneaking around, hiding her meetups from her husband, or using excuses to spend time alone with you, she's already crossing lines. And if she's willing to betray his trust for you, what makes you think she wouldn't eventually do the same to you? So the next time a married woman seems unusually eager to free up her schedule just for you, don't take it as a romantic gesture. Take it as a red flag. It's not love she's chasing. It's excitement, novelty, and escape. And if you step into that role, you'll soon find yourself in the middle of a storm you didn't sign up for. Sign number 3, she mirrors your behavior. Have you ever noticed someone start picking up on your little habits? The way you laugh, the phrases you use, even the way you sit or gesture. That's called mirroring, and it's one of the most powerful subconscious signs of attraction. When a married woman begins to mirror your behavior, it's her body and mind revealing a desire to connect with you on a deeper level. Maybe you cross your arms and seconds later she does the same. Maybe you lean in when you talk and she instinctively leans closer too. Or maybe she starts using your slang, quoting your jokes, or matching your texting style. On the surface, it might seem like innocent mimicry, but underneath it's a psychological clue. She's trying to build rapport and signal similarity. Now here's where it gets even more telling. Along with mirroring, many women in this situation start dropping subtle, sometimes not so subtle, hints about their marriage. She might tell you her husband doesn't understand her, that they barely sleep together, or that he's distant and cold. This is a strategy whether she realizes it or not. By painting herself as the victim in her marriage, she lowers her guilt and creates a storyline where pursuing someone else feels justified. Think about it. If she convinces you and herself that her husband is the problem, then stepping closer to you feels less like betrayal and more like finding comfort. But here's the danger. This tactic is designed to draw you in emotionally, to make you feel like her rescuer. And that's where many men get trapped. They mistake her mirroring and vulnerability as genuine love, when in reality, it's often a way to escape her own dissatisfaction. So if you notice a married woman reflecting your actions, laughing at everything you say, and opening up about her marriage problems, don't be fooled. She's not just bonding. She's building a bridge that could pull you into a messy, complicated situation. Sign number 4. She compliments you excessively. A simple compliment can feel harmless. Maybe she notices your new shirt, praises your work, or tells you that you have a great sense of humor. But when a married woman starts showering you with compliments too often, and in ways that go beyond casual kindness, it's a major sign that her attraction is slipping through the cracks. Pay attention to the tone and frequency. Does she compliment things most people wouldn't even notice? The way you smell, the way you carry yourself, or the smallest changes in your appearance? Does she make comparisons between you and her husband, like pointing out how you're so much more thoughtful, or way more fun to talk to than him? This is not just admiration. This is emotional positioning. By praising you and at the same time, lowering her husband's value in conversation, she's trying to elevate you in her mind as the man who fulfills what she feels is missing. Psychologists call this contrast effect. When someone highlights your positives by comparing them directly with another person's negatives. In this case, her husband becomes the bad guy, while you quietly take on the role of the better option. And here's the trap. It feels good. Who doesn't like being told they're attractive, interesting, or better than the competition? That's how many men get pulled deeper without even realizing it. The compliments become addictive, and before you know it, you're responding to the validation rather than thinking clearly about the situation. But here's the cold truth. If she's willing to diminish her husband just to build you up, it's a red flag for her character. Compliments may seem sweet, but if they come at the expense of her vows and her partner's dignity, they're not harmless, they're manipulative. So if a married woman is constantly finding reasons to compliment you, especially while comparing you to her husband, don't let it boost your ego. Let it serve as a warning sign. Sign number 5. She opens up about her marriage. When a married woman begins to confide in you about the intimate details of her relationship, it's a signal that boundaries are starting to blur. Think about it. The private matters between a husband and wife are supposed to stay within that bond. But when she starts telling you about her marital problems, She's inviting you into a space that her spouse should occupy. First, it may seem innocent. Maybe she vents about her husband forgetting anniversaries or not helping around the house. But pay close attention. The more personal the details get, the clearer the intention becomes. If she begins telling you how unhappy she is, how emotionally neglected she feels, or how much she wishes her partner were more like you, this isn't just small talk. This is emotional disclosure, and in psychology, that's one of the strongest forms of intimacy. Here's the danger. Emotional affairs often begin long before physical ones. A woman may not touch you, but if she's leaning on you for emotional support, validation, and comfort that should come from her husband, she's already stepping into dangerous territory. And if you allow yourself to become her confidant, you may find yourself emotionally entangled before you even realize it. Remember, her unhappiness is not your responsibility to fix. Many men fall into the trap of trying to save a woman from her bad marriage, only to end up in a triangle filled with secrecy, guilt, and betrayal. What starts as empathy can easily turn into attachment, and once that happens, walking away becomes much harder. So if a married woman opens up to you about her marriage problems, don't see it as trust or closeness. See it as a red flag. The more she pulls you into her personal world, the closer you are to being caught in a web that could damage not only her life and her husband's, but also your own. Sign number 6. She initiates physical contact. Physical touch is one of the clearest and most powerful indicators of attraction. And when it comes from a married woman, it carries even more weight, because she knows deep down that every touch is a line being crossed. Watch how she interacts with you physically. Does she brush your arm when she laughs? Does she give you playful nudges or find excuses to sit closer than necessary? Maybe she adjusts your collar, fixes your hair, or accidentally lets her hand linger on yours a little too long. These gestures may seem small, but they are not random. They are intentional signals. Psychology tells us that touch is a form of nonverbal communication. A light touch can release oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, creating feelings of closeness and warmth. When a married woman initiates touch, she's not just being friendly. She's testing boundaries, gauging your reaction, and silently asking if you're open to something more. And here's the catch. These moments can feel electrifying. Many men misinterpret them as undeniable proof of chemistry, forgetting the bigger picture. What feels like excitement in the moment is really the spark of danger. Because every touch that goes unnoticed by her husband is another step deeper into secrecy and betrayal. Here's what you need to remember. If she's willing to cross physical boundaries with you despite being married, it reveals not just her attraction, but also her willingness to risk her relationship for temporary thrills. That should serve as a warning, not an invitation. So the next time a married woman finds reasons to touch you, don't let your emotions take over. Understand the psychology behind it. She's building intimacy in a way that words alone cannot. But what begins as a harmless touch can quickly spiral into something much harder to step away from. Sign number 7. She actively tries to meet you. Out of all the signs, this one is the loudest and hardest to ignore. When a married woman is going out of her way to see you, not just texting, not just chatting online, but finding real-life opportunities to be around you, it's a major signal that she wants more than friendship. Pay attention to the patterns. Does she suddenly show up at the same places you frequent, your gym, your favorite cafe, or social gatherings she never attended before? Does she suggest casual meetups like grabbing coffee, running errands together, or just hanging out when she knows her husband won't be around? These are not coincidences. These are deliberate choices designed to put her in your space face to face, away from her marital commitments. And here's where the danger truly escalates. While quick replies or subtle touches can be explained away, actively creating time and excuses to meet you is a bold step. It means she's not just daydreaming about something more. She's taking action to make it happen. In psychology, this is what's known as investment behavior. When someone begins to sacrifice time, effort, and even risk to pursue what they desire. But let's be clear. Once a married woman starts consistently seeking you out, she's already crossed an emotional line and is dangerously close to crossing the physical one. And if you allow yourself to follow along, you're walking into a situation where consequences are unavoidable. Affairs rarely stay hidden forever. The truth surfaces, and when it does, it leaves behind broken trust, damaged families, and regret that lasts much longer than the thrill. So the next time you notice these signals, don't fall for the illusion. Take them as red flags. Protect your peace, protect your future, and choose relationships built on honesty and respect.